Is it just me, or does it feel like LSU should be loaded for bear in 2025? What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round, and if that is your jam, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and answer this comment below. Where do you think LSU should be ranked come August, given what Brian Kelly has pulled off in the transfer portal? I'm going to start with this. There aren't a whole lot of programs that could have afforded to lose a flip commitment like Bryce Underwood at quarterback and not really miss him. Like, I don't feel like I should have to talk LSU fans off a ledge. I think LSU fans should feel really good about the prospect of them playing for the SEC championship and perhaps contending for the national championship in 2025. Take a look at the pieces, man. Garrett Nussmeier is the best returning quarterback on production in the SEC, right? Add to that, you got better in the portal. Barrion Brown is a game wrecker. He can return kicks. He can take top off the defense, right? We know this. We also know that Patrick Payton at Florida State, great edge rusher. Jack Pyburn, great edge rusher. And not for nothing, but you're returning Whit Weeks, who was a tackling machine last year, and Harold friggin' Perkins. And I swear, man, just let that dude line up in a stand-up 4'9" and rush people. Let him go sack the quarterback. Let him do for you what he did to Arkansas in 2023, which was be a holy terror on a football field. Then Caden Durham is your bell cow back. That dude can absolutely run through people. I really like this. I like this team. I like the way it is put together. I also think that when you put Michael Van Buren behind them, you got a ready-made dude in case something happens to Garrett Nussmeier. It feels like they're fortifying a position here. And the way in which some people are talking about them this year, I think should be similar to the way that folks were talking about A&M last year or Ole Miss last year. Did they fall just short? Absolutely, they did. Just short being the college football playoff. But when it comes to really having the players that can go win you football games, LSU feels like it's going to be in that spot. Now, Brian Kelly's also going to have his back up against it because he's got things to prove, okay? It's not just that the man got to LSU and produced another Heisman winner, lickety split, right, in Jaden Daniels. It's that he had a vision for what the program could be. Now, when it comes to talking out loud about these things, I'm not always sure that he's the best guy at communicating the point because there's a level of sarcasm to him and a bit of sardonic humor that I don't always think is necessary or needed. But the thing that is very true about LSU is they're all pulling in the same direction, okay? They all understand that they're not just chasing the college football playoff because they've done that before. They've won it before. They've won it in this era. One of the few programs that gets to say that they have won a national championship in the BCS and the college football playoff era, right? Now, it's really just Ohio State that gets to say that they've won it in the BCS, the 4-team, and the 12-team playoff, right? Because we've only done that one time with the 12-team playoff. But now that we know that there are going to be all sorts of ways for the SEC to get another team in there, 4 is the number. I think that LSU could very well fit the bill of what Tennessee did last year. Just get into the thing. Now, do you get boat raced by Ohio State? Maybe, but not this year. Like, that team last year is not this team this year. I still think Ohio State is very, very good. Don't get me wrong about that. I think they're extremely good. I just don't always think that we are talking about LSU the way that we should. I think the way that we were really in on Tennessee, especially after Tennessee was able to boat race NC State and then beat Oklahoma, is the way we should be thinking about Brian Kelly and LSU. Now, the other thing I'd add in here is getting a Harold Perkins healthy is going to change your defense because people are going to identify that guy. And anytime you got to identify one person on defense, you're freeing up someone else to go make plays. If the defensive line ends up being just what I think it's going to be with Bo Davis, again, it's going to be really difficult to run the football, and it's going to be really difficult to give your quarterback time to throw the football. That was the thing that was really holding LSU back a couple of years ago, right? When Jaden Daniels was torching people, all anybody wanted to do was go, yo, dog, can we please get something like a defense? Please don't let us be losing no 50 to 49 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, those give everybody anxiety. Nobody wants those. All you want is an opportunity to run the football, right? You get an opportunity to run the football, you can throw it all over the yard. And they will with Garrett Nussmeier. That's the other thing. That dude ain't going to get worse. He is really, really good with throwing the football downfield. Now, they're going to get into some dogfights? Probably, because that's what happens when you air it out. But if you got a defense that can keep pace and you got a defense that can hand you back the ball, and then you got Caden Durham who can go for 100, 150 yards on 20, 21 carries, you've got everything for the makings of a really, really fun 2025 for the LSU Bayou Bengals is what I usually call it, because I don't go LSU Tigers, but we'll do that because they are Tigers. Let's go LSU Tigers. I think that they're going to be really good, guys. The game to watch, though, I think, going into 2025 to find out if LSU is indeed good, will be Clemson. Brian Kelly is famously 0-3 against Dabo Swinney's Clemson, and he will have that in his head. Both of them will have that in their heads. Now, if LSU comes out and does to Clemson what Georgia did to Clemson, we might be dealing with a problem here, because Georgia was a problem last year. It's just they didn't have any receivers. We thought they had receivers. We were wrong. They did not have any receivers that were any good last year. That's not true when you talk about Nick Anderson joining from Oklahoma. You're also going to be able to say, okay, Cade Klubnik, you think you're that guy. I'm going to send Perk after you. I'm going to see how you handle this. And not for nothing, but Cade Klubnik can find the fissures in your defense and run through it. He showed that last year. Matter of fact, he ran Clemson into the ACC championship game after Syracuse did them a favor and knocked out Miami. They got on the good foot and got themselves a W in a game that looked really tight at the end because of quarterback play. That's the other thing I'm going to be watching for Clemson and LSU. Both of these quarterbacks can absolutely, positively spin it, guys. Like, I really enjoy watching those guys play football. If those things fall into place for LSU, expect them to be an early favorite to make the college football playoff, if not play for the SEC championship. If it falls against them, maybe they still got some time, because that SEC schedule is going to give everybody an opportunity to go make a case for being one of those teams selected. So by the time we get to November, if LSU is a 1 or 2 loss team with a road to play in the SEC championship, and they've still got the bevy of talent that they have recruited, my goodness, man, watch out now. The Bayou Bengals going to be up to something.